Well, it's about time I put my Traxxas UDR up on the bench. Why would I say that? Look how dusty it is. It needs a little love. It's been sitting on the shelf for way too long, I would say. Oh, it likes that idea. The Traxxas UDR is a huge machine. This video does not do it any justice. It is much larger than a Traxxas Slash, and even if you don't like Traxxas products, you got to admit that this vehicle, if you have ever seen it in action or ever used it, certainly is a beast and a brute. I love it. It is certainly changed from the Traxxas Slash. In fact, it was nothing like a Traxxas Slash, a whole new redesign. Now, I took this out and I've beat the crap out of it a few times. And in fact, I wish I could say I was a good RC hobbyist and did my maintenance, but listen to this. That is not a broken spring. It is indeed dust inside my suspension. Now, the type of dust I have out here is very fine. It's like a silt. It's like a small grit. You can't really even feel it, but you can hear it in suspensions. This is the same UDR that you guys saw me put in the mud last year in the middle of winter and do tons of burnouts with it and donuts in the mud, and this thing continues to keep on going. I haven't frozen the motor on it, nothing like that. The only thing I've done is break these rear trailing arms, these lower suspension arms right here. Both shocks, the dampener and the sprung shock, actually mount into this arm, and it attaches to the cage and to the rear axle housing right here. So these parts, because they're not solid plastic, they tend to buckle either right here or right here, and I want to stop that. I went on to eBay, got myself some Gpm Aluminum Arms. Actually, big shout out to Cam, if you're watching right now. Your UDR at last year's TTC, the Tough Truck competition, when you did the sled pull, you showed that you had these arms on there, and man, were they ever awesome for strength. $50 I paid for these on eBay. So I'm going to take the wheels off, switch these out. Should be a nice simple upgrade, and away I go. Let's just take the whole panel off and have a look on the inside. Perfect. Kind of lift this out of the way. Such a gnarly looking cage. Alright, so you already know the first thing I gotta do here is remove the back tire, and you guys don't need to see me doing that to know that it is no longer in front of you. But one of the things I want to point out before we get into the trailing arm, and isn't it cool that RC companies these days are coming out with different types of, even though this is non-functional, this is an amazing decorative piece, if I could say that. Like a scale accessory that helps you just believe what you're looking. So when the tire is turning, so is this disc right behind. So if you can see the still caliper, when you lift it up, you can actually see the brakes working. But what a neat feature. Another neat feature about this whole unit is inside, these cooling fans actually spin. Now let me back up so you can get the full picture here. These cooling fans, they spin, and the ESC is just down below here. Full functioning cantilever system here, even though I need a little bit of a shot of lubrication in there, not a big deal. Almost looks like a grasshopper leg, hey? Boing! So it gives it a ton of awesome suspension, some really thick rubber limiting straps back here, and of course these spare tires, the extra drive shaft across the back. This is actually a functional steel drive shaft. Is it steel? Aluminum, alloy, whatever. Metal drive shaft, I can say. 2 batteries here, and of course the 2 tubs of oil. Get this package opened up and see what it has inside. Nice. I really like this color. I could have done a different color, but this really kind of is very sharp. Look at that. Beautiful. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I've got tons and tons of amazing RC videos. I also have another channel called RCSparks Reboot, where we do lots of neat stuff over there as well, but this is my main channel. And if you're a returning viewer and you're wondering how I'm doing health-wise, because recently I did a video on my diagnosis of having Crohn's and ankylosing spondylitis, which is kind of really crappy, pun intended for all those that get that joke. But I can say that today is a good day, and thanks for asking. I haven't really been leaving the ranch a whole lot, only because I'm not able to. And it's been really tough talking about all the medications and stuff I'm going to have to do in the upcoming years and basically for the rest of my life. But always look on the bright side of your life, right? Look at this, like taking out a trailing arm, that easy. No nuts involved here. And I'm not talking because my wife castrated me because I bought one of these, because I literally mean there are no nuts on this. Makes it super easy. I don't have to hold a nut driver at the same time. So the last one for me is going to be under this bar right here. I can take this out. I gotta say, over the Traxxas Slash, this thing is absolutely a beast. I hate to say this, guys, and I know you're all gonna hang me out to dry right now for speaking my opinion, but after driving this machine, the Slash is kind of dead to me. It was such a staple in my life for the longest time, but I still have a Slash. The two-wheel drive Slashes, obviously, a lot of people are wondering when we're going to take those out in the snow, and we actually did already, but it was too deep, and then we had some fun and Morris broke his, so I'm just waiting on a repair part. You can only run the Traxxases with the skis that we got in about 2 inches of snow, or else it just kind of digs itself down and don't go anywhere. Almost got that first one. Now that I have that anchored, perfect. Excuse me, sir, your trailing arm is showing. Well, I'm going to have to come out and actually kind of talk about a controversial topic here in the hobby community. And say, I've had a ton of people writing to me and telling me, why do you keep buying all this Chinese merchandise, online? And I gotta say, guys, because I've been doing it for years, like everything is made over in China or in Taiwan or in Vietnam. Like the majority of RC products are made over there. And if I'm going online and purchasing them on eBay or from wherever I'm getting them, just like any other normal retailer that's out there, I don't mind doing that. I'm gonna use what's available to me out there, and if it comes at a good cost, and I know that it's not like directly ripping someone off, then I'm totally jumping on board. I don't see why I would limit myself to not do that. And by flipping it upside down, I've got a little bit more control on lining up the holes. That is exactly what she said. Hashtag family friendly, at least at my house. Okay, I'll just pop in the right side here. Having it upside down would have been much easier in the beginning, but to show it to you both ways can be advantageous, I found over the years. There's never a wrong way to do it unless it just simply doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit, don't force it. That's a good rule in life, kiddies, if you're listening. So this one will be going up to the second one. So that just slides, hopefully slides right in there. But whenever you have aluminum on aluminum, sometimes it might need a little coaxing. There, got it. So again, you don't want to force things in there. You just want to make sure that they go in nice and smooth. So there's one. Take the nut that came with it, put it onto the back side. And here's what the pair of them look like fully installed. They're beautiful, hey? Something so simple can really set off a truck, just like a set of aluminum arms. Now you're going to ask me, are you going to get aluminum housings? Are you going to get aluminum front arms and the whole deal? And the answer is no. I actually am very strategic in where I place my aluminum upgrades. I don't mind some plastic bending or breaking because aluminum, once it bends, it just kind of stays in that shape and doesn't kind of bounce back like plastic does. Plus, even though it is light, aluminum throughout the whole vehicle will start to make it heavier and heavier and heavier, which means when you land, you get bigger and more expensive breakages. So I'll probably do the only aluminum upgrade is right here, but I never say never. There's always fun stuff that comes along. Now, I guess before I roll it over, I want to leave you with one last hint, okay? And I'm going to shout out to Kevin Talbot one more time for showing us how to do this. WD-40, guys, on Traxxas Plastics makes them incredibly soft or resilient to breakages. This is a huge secret you guys may not know. Now, a lot of you right now that don't know this secret are cringing at the fact that I actually am putting so much WD-40 onto this model. And I will wipe this off after about 15 minutes of letting it permeate into the actual plastic. If you can spray it like this and leave it for 24 hours, I highly suggest you do that. I've done that already with this one. This is just like a top coat. But it soaks into the pores of this plastic and it actually makes it a little bit more malleable, which means less broken parts. So big shout out to Kev, Big Kev, for showing us that years ago. I showed it again afterwards, but again, I want to kind of remind everybody during these cold months, especially when things snap so easy, that you can last a little bit longer if you just spray it with WD-40. So there you go. All right, there it is. Super simple. You'd be like, what, you didn't even take it outside and test it? And the answer is no, it's cold and I just finished cleaning it. Why would I do that? I'm gonna let all that WD-40 soak in. You can see I've cleaned up the tires, got those panels done. Lubed up all the suspension, cleaned it up properly, and that's really the most important thing while it's sitting there, right? Make sure all of your suspension is good. Make sure you don't have any batteries in there. Yeah, you're gonna have some dirt in the shocks and whatever, but who cares? It's an RC, it's supposed to be dirty. Look at this beauty. Here, do I just throw it? Look at that suspension, what a beaut. Guys, I gotta ask you, now that I have the lid taken off, here's the lid right here. Lid off. Lid on, even though the bumper's not right. Which one do you prefer? I actually think I'm really enjoying it with just the caged look. But, you know, I also like it with the red paneling. Everett actually has the Fox one. My buddy Everett, he's going to come over here. We're going to rip these machines as soon as it warms up enough in the next several weeks, I hope, to get outside and have some fun with RC. Guys, thanks a lot for checking out today's video. Leave your opinion about cage only or lid in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Bye for now.